Alright, welcome back to part 2. We left off talking about the shading. This is Neil from digitalcanvas.net16.net. Please check the link in the description for more free videos on drawing and digital painting and photo manipulation and editing. So you can get these different looks by different shading and different drawing styles, and also there's some things to remember. You can have this angle here. This little line can overlap. That's, you don't have to always do it, but making that line just overlap a bit is kind of cool. Remember to draw little curved lines like I mentioned to add the dimension to the lips. You can add a little bit of shading like this to make this line at the bottom, this glowing line, not glowing, but a white line. It's not white, but you get the idea. It's a light line here at the bottom of the lip. And that usually is caused by refraction light or reflected light off of other parts of the face, bouncing up and then hitting the bottom of the lip. You have this line right here for sexiness, as I told you before. Kind of draw that line like that. The main thing I want to talk about in this video is going to be the 3/4 view, because it's the hardest to master, and I want to just spend some time talking about it and doing some samples. But real quick, showing teeth is always sexy, but only outline them. Don't draw the lines in between the teeth, because that's usually not sexy, but if you do, just hint at them. Notice when someone's smiling big, you have this huge curve and the lips get thinner, especially at the corners here. Same thing with their yelling, they have that same kind of curve. And if they are from a side view, that curve is retained. Remember, I said it's like a cylinder, so you can see the lip is coming around that cylinder. Okay, 3/4 view, I'll get right back to that because I want to spend more time on that. Biting the lip is sexy, just remember to only outline the teeth. And when you have the lip, it's kind of like shaped like this, let's say. When they bite the lip, the lip gets tugged up like that. And so, they're biting the lip, and so it's getting tugged up. Right, so it warps the shape of the lip. You can look at photo references too to see that that is true. And looking at photo references is always helpful for different things like blowing a kiss and stuff, things that you might not want to memorize or that you haven't memorized yet. But that slows you down when doing comic art, and when you're doing comic art, you need to work quickly. So you want to memorize as much as possible. Some real quick ideas on different lip shapes, and that's what we did in the beginning, so we don't have to go through that. Before we get into more detail about the 3/4 lip, the lips at an angle. So you have this, you can do like this kind of shape here, which is almost like a fish, but you can have a far distance between those 2 points, or you can have a short distance between those 2 points. And that's obviously, I'm just exaggerating for you can see the lip shape there. And then you have different bottom lip shapes, as you can see. And having short lips, like you can have this upper lip here, but then just make a shorter bottom lip that comes down like so, and you have a different style of lip there. So rearranging these different types of upper and bottom lips, you can get different styles of lips. These lips here are actually Michelle Pfeiffer's. These are Jessica Alba's. I don't think I did Angelina Jolie's on here. But so Michelle Pfeiffer has the lips that, the dent that comes out is way on the outside. And Jessica Alba has hers close together. Right, so now let's go ahead into the 3/4 lip. Actually, I'll go up here first before we start drawing it. So there's some things to keep in mind. Imagine there's a imaginary line coming down the center of the face. So if you had like your face, whatever, let's say, from the 3/4 view, you have this line coming down the center there. And notice that when it does come down the center from the 3/4 view, or at any angle, that the chin is mostly on this side of the line. So that's because you're seeing most of that side of the jaw. And that's important to remember. You'll have the eye here, and so you'll have a whole eye length, so the other eye would start over there. And then you'd have the nose, coming down like so. Then the lips would fall about in here. And so what's important is you have that line is on this side of the face, you pretty much have the lips as they would appear from the front view. But on this side, the same thing with the eye, but this side, the eye is foreshortened, and it kind of ends up looking like that usually. But this side, the lips are foreshortened as well. Some things to memorize when the lips on this side is you have this curve here and this curve here. So you have like this M shape. That's important to remember. If the lip is less open, then you're going to have more of an M shape like so, especially if the lip's not open at all. And then from this side you'd have the full lip. Sometimes you'll even be able to see that you have like some women and men have like that kind of look there. A little bit of redder skin right here. Usually you cover that up with makeup anyway. But so you can sometimes see that part behind there, but it overlaps, so just remember that. These are just things you have to remember. This line will come up above that there, and then this line, so notice it's backwards. This thin line right here will overlap that a little bit, but this line overlaps this one. And so you have this whole puffy part is overlapping like that. And then this is overlapping that puffy part just a bit, and this one just a bit. So this circle comes behind that. This circle goes over both of those circles when from the 3/4 view. Right, so let's see if I have any more time left to draw here. Just really quick, I want to show something. Imagine this imaginary line coming down the center like that. So the angle is a little bit, notice you have less face over here than you do over here. So you do have a little bit of foreshortening, but the chin is pretty much in the center still. And the lips are a little bit longer on this side than this side, but the shapes don't really change. They just get foreshortened. It's almost as if you literally take that lip that's there, edit, free transform, and just shorten it. It just literally foreshortens like that when you're viewing it from this angle here. This isn't too extreme of a 3/4 angle. All right, here's another quick example from my, this is the screenshot, the menu from my shooter that me and my partner are working on, programmer. I'm doing all the designing and art. I'll zoom in on her face here. This is Jill Baxter, the pilot of the ship. It's going to be like a top-down shooter like Smash TV, Geometry Wars, Robotron. Has a lot of similarities to those. So notice the lips when you're at this extreme view, this part of the face, there's hardly any part of the face on this side of the line, and there's a whole bunch of face on this side of the line. That's when you get this M shape here with the lips. Okay. Alright, so this is just a really quick sketch I just did while I pushed pause. Did it in like maybe 3 minutes or less, I don't know. Just real quick just to get an idea where the lips are going to be. Right, so I'm going to have this up here. I know a lot of you don't like that, but it doesn't interfere with what we're doing, so I don't see why it's a big deal. So imagine you have this plus sign running down the middle of the face with a straight up and down line. That line here and that line there. But this line here is what we're focused on. Notice most of the chin's on this side, most of the nose is on that side. And so the lips, remember that when you're going to have pretty much the center of the lip fall in there. But you're going to have most of the lip on this side, which is going to be normal size, but this side is going to be that extreme view. Remember, this line is going to overlap both sides. And so then you're going to have this kind of extreme M shape like that. And then kind of run into this. And I'm going to kind of run like that. Then you're going to have, see, you have that bird shape or M shape. Maybe this is why we think this is sexy too, from this angle of the lips, is that bird shape again, or that heart shape. You know, you can imagine the heart, but it seems that that heel shape, that mountain shape, that bird shape, whatever you want to call it, we find sexy because this is the ideal way that we usually draw the female face. So, and notice I need to extend the chin just a bit. I'll just extend it to more of a point. Right, so anyway, this lip is closed. I could have made it, you know, slightly open too, like so. And maybe, you know, if you wanted to draw a little bit of shading underneath it. Okay, so hopefully I covered everything about lips that is important, that you will find helpful and useful in your drawing. So stay tuned for more drawing videos. Make requests. You know, sign up, leave comments. I love comments. I like to hear what you guys think, what you guys want to see in the future. That's always cool. Subscribe and everything. I know a lot of you writers are still waiting for stuff, so check out the Master Edit link, and I got some videos on there linked up, so it's pretty cool. All right, thanks everyone. Appreciate it. And I hope this helps.